That famous Trent Bridge batting track lived up to its name as Australia eased their way to a commanding 302 for 3 at the close, leaving England needing wickets and plenty of them if they're to have any hope of saving the series.
Trent Bridge, a batsman's paradise. But there were still signs that England could force an early breakthrough. Headley was an inch or two away from Elliott's stumps. Taylor's edged through slips, an inch or two short of Mike Atherton. There were a few more chances as the Australian openers opened up an impressive partnership. Elliott made the most of the running and for once was ably supported by his captain. Taylor said the wicket was the best he'd seen in the series so far. Elliott finally went for 69. Headley with the breakthrough, though the ball seemed to go through to Stewart after hitting very little. It signified no collapse though. Taylor made his half-century as the England bowlers took a bit of a battering. The ball fell apart at the seam as well. Andy Caddick made the most of the replacement. Some rare movement followed by some rare celebrations. Taylor out for 76. But it only gave Greg Blewett his share of the limelight as he too notched up his half-century. That's all he made though. Ben, the first of the Hollyoake brothers to claim a debut test wicket. But there were two other brothers for England to worry about. Steve and Mark Waugh with slightly more experience and more runs to add to an already formidable tourist total. Ollie Foster, Sky News.
For 116 and they were all out for 427. The good work continued until after tea. Openers Mike Atherton and Alex Stewart put on 106, but Shane Warne took 3 wickets, Glenn McGrath the other. England closed on 188 for 4.
An extraordinary day's cricket which has confirmed what many already knew. England are simply being beaten by a better side. The tourists go into the third day with every hope of winning this test and settling the series. Yet at one stage England were definitely in the driving seat. Andy Caddick made the breakthrough this morning, trapping Mark Waugh in front. And with Dean Headley firing in at the other end, the Aussies' middle order collapsed. The tourists though continued to pile on the runs, thanks mainly to Steve Waugh. But Devon Malcolm rejoined the attack to give England a real chance of polishing off the tail before lunch. Yet again they were frustrated by Paul Rifle, who finally went to another superb delivery from Headley. And it was the Kent man who wrapped up the innings in a fine spell. England made an equally spirited reply. Alex Stewart raced to his half-century before tea, despite all that work behind the stumps. And the opening pair reached the 100 partnership before Atherton fell to Shane Warne. Stewart too was out to the spinner, with Healy making a superb catch when the ball spooned off the edge. And when Warne clean bowled Hussain for just 2, the worm had definitely turned. Crawley went soon afterwards, another catch for Healy, but this time off McGrath. So Thorpe and Hollyoake renew their partnership tomorrow, but with a draw the best England can hope for, this series is effectively over. Pete Barclough, Sky News.
Fashion. Another humiliating defeat means the Ashes belong to Australia for another 2 years. The margin of victory today, 264 runs. England were set an improbable target of 451 to win, but wickets tumbled throughout the afternoon. Only Graham Thorpe stood firm with an unbeaten 82. His teammates collapsed to 186 all out. Earlier, Australia had made 336 in their second innings. Ian Healy hit a half-century which helped him get the Man of the Match award.
If this was to be England's day of destiny, it couldn't have had a better start. Steve Waugh, the man on his way, and the vital early breakthrough had been made. But there was to be no collapse. Instead, the following batsmen weighed in with a near constant stream of boundaries, their positive attitude making the scoreboard ever better for them and the equation ever more difficult for England. Ian Healy became Adam Hollyoake's first test wicket, but by then the Australian keeper had already made 63. Shane Warne also joined in, not offering a shot to his opposing spinner when seemingly trapped in front. And when he did offer a shot, it wasn't the sort to make Robert Croft any happier. The stable door eventually closed with the lead at 450, but by then England's Ashes horse had well and truly fled the scene. The situation called for a captain's innings, but unfortunately for Atherton, it lasted a mere 8 runs. And it was to set the trend for the rest of the day. Batsmen came and went all too frequently as Jason Gillespie, who hadn't taken a wicket in the match, remembered how. The heady days of the Edgbaston Test suddenly seemed a lifetime away. England, who had begun the match with talk of taking a 2-all series into a decider at the Oval, were in submission and in some cases in hiding. At 8 wickets down, Australia were offered an extra half hour, which they took, and in the fading light, England's misery was completed and Australia's joy complete.
Very pleasing the way we've done it, because we didn't play particularly well early on and England played very well, so we didn't jump out and blow England away as everyone thought we might do. It was a very good series. It was hard, it was keenly fought. I was just delighted the way we came back after the first test disappointment.